what's up, fam? Welcome to another episode of 49 Faithfullee. We're your hosts, Miriah and Denise. Denise?
Hello, Faithful. What's up?
Not a very good outcome. 49ers
No, it was not.
lost to the Falcons, 28-14. Damn shame.
Couldn't score in the second half.
Huh?
I said couldn't score in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like I was happy, of course. Ayuk's my guy, so to see him score 2 touchdowns, first time in his career that he's had a 2-touchdown game. And I'm like, if they could keep this going, what we've seen so far, that's what I'm thinking at that point in the game when Ayuk scores his second touchdown. I didn't think that would be the last fucking touchdown that the team scores,
Yep.
Wow. Like I was expecting, I don't know. We talked about this and how we both put out tweets similar. And, me and TL had talked about what's going to happen. There was going to come a time when the defense wasn't going to be able to carry the offense, because up until this point, that's what had happened. We hadn't seen the offense be able to get on much of a roll and be able to put up very much points up until this point, Obviously, last week we started to see them, do so a little bit, but, that was against the Panthers. So, but I said, what's going to happen? Is the offense going to be able to step up and be able to put up points when the defense isn't able to shut down the other team? We know going into this game, we had so many injuries on the defense, and I have faith in the backups on our team because we know that our team has depth, but at some point the injuries just keep coming and coming. There becomes a point that the defense, they can't keep up with it. Like we saw, shortly into the game, Charvarius Ward go down. Well, that takes out now both of our starting corners. I think maybe if we would have had one starting corner and then, a backup corner, okay, they can probably hold that. But to have now both of our starting corners out, it's like the injuries just overcame them and the offense couldn't keep up.
What happened to Talanoa? I didn't even know he got hurt. And then someone said he got hurt too.
Yeah, they said he went into the tent, but I had thought he had came back into the game.
I didn't see him. So I don't, it's like, maybe it was just me. Like someone said he was out. So I was like, I don't know, like maybe it was just me, but I was yelling.
A bunch of players went out, got hurt, came back in.
Yeah.
Sosa got hurt so many different times, went back out for, different injuries and back and forth and still kept coming back. We saw Mike McGlinchey go down. He went out for a while. We saw Trent Williams, taking care of him on the sidelines. He came back in eventually, but he was limping around, It was just like, oh my gosh, every time something would happen, it was like another player would drop. It became a point where it's just like, okay, just get our team off the field, just throw in the towel and tell them, okay, like this second, we are all well aware how I feel about turf and our second week on turf and the injuries just.
Oh God, I know. So. I swear, like if I was the players, I would literally be like, they need to all come together and be like, you know what? We're signing a petition and we refuse to play. Like as owners, you do not put in grass. That's it. Like we're not going to play. And you want to pay us, how many ever, hundreds of $1 million to sit on the bench? Great. We're not playing. We're going to have a lockout. Like we're not playing on turf anymore. Like that's it. We're done. Like you're ending our careers. Like, we can't stay healthy on turf. Like that shit needs to be outlawed. Bye. Bye, my love. I love you. Love you. See you later. Love you. Sorry, that was my grandbaby. Love him.
Yep, I agree. Real quick, I want to say what's up to the chat. Tia, Bebop, John B says he'll be joining in a minute. Rodney, Christy. Rodney says, disgusting loss today. I'm not impressed by Atlanta. Our backup defense held up as long as they could. And I agree.
Exactly. Like, I mean, but the bottom line is the turf, like, it's not just our team. Every team that plays on turf is getting taken out. Like every team in the NFL is getting taken out on this shit and they keep using it. Like, it's not fair, not just to our team, to all NFL players. It's not fair. It's ridiculous. They need to be, that shit needs to be outlawed. It needs to be outlawed.
Yep. I keep saying that they deserve better. You know, these are multi-billion-dollar men, you know, and you have them playing on surfaces that continue to take out their knees, take out their ankles, take out their, you know, Achilles. Like, it's just.
And you've heard players say, like Richard Sherman and other players, and even people in the media who used to play, they all say it's literally like falling on concrete. It is like falling on concrete. That is not fair to them. And I am sorry, these owners are rich enough that they could remove the shit and put down grass. They are not broke. Let's be honest. We're talking about owners who are worth billions, not millions, billions of dollars.
And I keep coming back to, like, don't you as an owner want to put your best product out there on the field? Don't you want your best guys healthy and out there playing? Like, so why do you put them out there on a shitty surface? Like, you should want to be putting them out there on the best. The more they're out there, the best that you have your stars out there, people are going to want to come. That's where you make your money. Like I don't get it. It's just.
Exactly. Like, you're putting your players out there and they're getting hurt, and then you're not putting the best product on the field because your top players and think about this. You're putting the top players that you're paying the most amount of money to, that is coming out of your pocket, are sitting on the bench. So how smart is that? What kind of business model is that?
Exactly. It just doesn't make sense. And again, I'll come back to the I'm here in Vegas. As we know, the Raiders play here. They play in a dome in the middle of a fucking desert, and they're able to roll them out grass and have grass for them to play on. It's not fucking turf. So if they can do it here in the desert, in a dome, there's no reason why not any stadium across this United States can't do it.
Well, exactly. And that's my point. And the reason they don't do it is because I always hear, oh, well, that's really expensive and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I'm sorry. These owners are worth billions of dollars. They are not poor. So I don't want to hear that it costs too much money, because that's bullshit. Yep. That is bullshit.
I agree. So your overall thoughts, I know we had got into about, you know, Jimmy G's performance and him again. We saw him take a bunch of deep shots today. You know, I've talked about on previous episodes that Jimmy G is.
So I posted a tweet and everybody came for my head because I said that, you know, our elite defense, and everyone took it like I was taking a shot at our defense. So let me tell all you faithful out there, I was not taking a shot at our defense. So everybody calm down, by the way, calm down. I was not taking a shot at our defense. I love our defensive players. I am well aware that our defense is hurt right now. I'm not stupid. I watch our team very closely. I know they're all hurt. My point was, I said, this is the game that our elite defense is not able to step up, and they're struggling. Why? Because we're injured. So we need Jimmy Garoppolo to carry us. Can Jimmy Garoppolo carry us? And everyone came for my head and said, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo's throwing dimes. Our wide receivers are dropping passes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Jimmy Garoppolo, did he throw some good passes? Yeah, he threw a few good passes. Yay, Jimmy. You know what? I can't say it, but I had an incident this weekend with a cookie. Jimmy, you want a fucking cookie? You threw a couple good passes. Yay for you. We still lost the game. Kiss my ass. So here's my point. My point is that Jimmy, what the problem with Jimmy, everybody, so pay attention, everyone. I'm going to give you a lesson. So the problem with Jimmy is when Jimmy Garoppolo throws some good passes, Jimmy Garoppolo all of a sudden thinks he's Patrick Mahomes. Jimmy Garoppolo is not Patrick Mahomes. Jimmy Garoppolo is not Aaron Rodgers. Jimmy Garoppolo is Jimmy Garoppolo. So when Jimmy Garoppolo gets confident, all of a sudden he thinks he can fit balls into tight windows. I'm sorry. I've never played football a day in my life except for flag football. And even I'm smart enough to know that you don't throw into triple coverage. Deebo Samuel was covered by 3 people. And he's all, here you go, Deebo. Jump up, catch the ball. Like, give me a fucking break. And then 83 was wide open. Ayuk was covered. 3 people. 83 wide open, butt naked, doing jumping jacks. And he doesn't get the ball. I'm not saying he would have caught it, but Jesus Christ, give me a break. Stop throwing into triple coverage. You are not Patty Mahomes. You are not Aaron Rodgers. You are Jimmy Garoppolo. Or as my husband calls you, Jimmy Falopolo. So don't tell me that Jimmy Garoppolo is elite at throwing dimes, because if that's what you think, then let me know what your address is and I'll send you fucking glasses.
Oh my.
Hey, John V.
Hi.
What up?
Just walking the dog, picking up dog shit.
Oh, fun.
Kind of like the dog shit we saw on television today. Boy, am I pissed. That was fucking garbage. Oh my God, was that fucking garbage. That game was just fucking garbage. So much garbage. Like I 4th and 1 and Kyle wants to throw the ball. Like I'm beyond. I don't even understand anymore, dude. Like you went back to Atlanta and shit the bed. I don't know. I like, what's crazy? I saw a lot of people this week talking about how this game doesn't matter regardless of whatever, it doesn't matter, but it does matter. It matters in the NFC. You know what I mean? It matters as a whole. It's almost like people that are so casual just mistake like division games by conference games and act like it doesn't matter. Like these games matter later in the season when we're always a fucking wild card team. You understand? It matters then. And
especially when we just dropped 2 losses now to teams that we definitely should have beat in the Bears and the freaking Falcons.
Yes. Two.
Exactly.
I mean, the Falcons just made us look like total shit. And I mean, and that goes without saying. I understand we have sustained like a dozen injuries. I get it. But for a team that prides itself on depth, where the fuck were you today?
But you know what, John? Again, I hear where you're coming from, and I said the same thing. But you know what, dude? Like Miriah said earlier, the defense, like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, the bottom line is yes, the defense stepped up as much as they could. But again, like we were going to have this game. We were going to have a game where the defense struggles. And even if it was our top defense, like you're going to have a game where the defense struggles. And that is when your quarterback is supposed to be able to carry you. Like, I'm sorry. That's what Jimmy's job is. I don't give a shit how much he makes. I don't care that he's the backup. I don't give a rat's ass. Like, that is his job. Like, when your defense struggles, you are supposed to be able to step up in the critical times and carry your team. Like, all I've heard for weeks is, oh, wow, Jimmy's playing better than he's ever played. Oh, wow. Do you see Jimmy dropping dimes? I mean, I got roasted on Twitter because people were telling me that Jimmy Garoppolo was throwing dimes. Was he? Because I'm sorry, I'm not an NFL quarterback, but I know that you don't throw the ball at the ground. Brandon Ayuk has to be able, pay attention, everybody, pay attention. He's got to be able to get his hands under the ball, Jimmy. Under the ball. Like, the ball has to be caught. Caught, Jimmy.
If one didn't know what you were talking about, they would just assume you were doing an exercise class. I've seen you do jumping jacks. I've seen you do.
They're like, oh, this crazy broad, you know.
Like, if they don't understand English, they're definitely wondering, like, what? Like, those must be 2 49er fans, and this woman is teaching them aerobics.
Like, Miriah, why'd you bring your crazy mom on here?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, I think that Jimmy had a Jimmy didn't
you
play.
Just called me your mom? Oh my God! I must look like I'm 90. God help me, Jesus
My
Christ!
mom's not 90.
I wouldn't say that Jimmy had a bad game though, fam. I would say that he had some bad throws, especially towards the end of the game. It got really
but
it got
but
bad.
John,
It got real bad.
okay, here my point about Jimmy is this: is Miriah said it the best. Is Jimmy Garoppolo is a game manager with a gunslinger mentality. Like Jimmy Garoppolo, the problem is when Jimmy Garoppolo starts throwing dimes, he gets too confident and then he thinks, oh, I can throw these spirals into tight windows. I can, you know what I mean? I can make this shit happen. Jimmy Garoppolo is not that quarterback. He's not. He is not.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. I mean,
like,
Jimmy's not a game manager of any kind. Jimmy is a puppet. He's a puppet. That's it. It's just, and once he throws a good pass, the follow up play should not be another pass because it's going to be garbage. It should be throw it, run it. Like we ran the ball 16 times for what, 50 yards? We were atrocious in the run game. So Jimmy, so Atlanta took a page out of the book. Take away the run game and force the guy to throw. And this is what you get.
No, but see, this person, Brian Culp, is saying if Jimmy Garoppolo's passes would have been caught, it would have been a different game. Yes,
that's true.
Okay.
That's
if
true.
any quarterback's passes are caught, it'll be a different game. That's the whole point of football. Like,
yeah, I mean, the Bears would have won Thursday night if people caught the fucking ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can say that to just about anybody.
Exactly.
So I agree. Some of the passes were dropped. But my point is, that is what I'm saying, is like when Jimmy Garoppolo, like if he's throwing dimes, like everyone's missing the point. So if Jimmy Garoppolo throws dimes and they start missing passes, I get it. Or they start dropping passes, I understand what you're saying. But the problem is when Jimmy starts thinking that way, like, oh, I'm doing it. Like I'm Patrick Mahomes, I'm dropping dimes, they're just not catching them. Then Jimmy Garoppolo in his mind starts thinking that he's Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, and that is very frightening. So then he starts throwing into triple coverage and double coverage and all that, thinking he can fit it in the window. That's not who Jimmy Garoppolo is. So that is why we get in trouble. And that's when the interceptions start happening. Like Jimmy Garoppolo is not that quarterback.
Yeah,
like,
Debo was triple covered almost the entire game. And he kept throwing to Debo coverage, Bryant. Like you have to understand. Like I'm not trying to say Jimmy had a horrible game or this loss is on Jimmy, but you can't keep thinking the guy's going out there and having a perfect game and blaming everybody on the offense except for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Throw a screen to the numbers. You can't even throw a screen to the numbers of the man's jersey. It's you got to scoop low, bring the ball up, and then you got to start making your run. Like throw the fucking ball at the man's chest so he can catch it and go. Why do we have to bend low, scoop up, and the screens have always been to Jimmy's shoes, or to the receiver's shoes. I've always said that if it's thrown to Jeffrey Wilson in the flat, it's at his feet. Everything's low, and then when it's high, it gets tipped. So we gave the ball away 3 times today. Okay.
Yes.
We fumbled. We threw 2 interceptions. I mean, this was just a really bad offensive.
It was super poor.
The play calls were trash.
Actually,
I feel like that interception to end the first half to go into halftime. I feel like that set off to how the rest of the game went right after that.
Yes.
Like we never got into anything else on offense after that.
No, the timing was trash.
John, I'm sorry. This game is like Kyle was not perfect, but this game was this game was not like all Kyle's fault. Like he was trying to dial shit. Like there were people wide open, and Jimmy was missing them. Again, there were people wide open. 83 when he threw to Debo in the second half, triple covered. Debo was triple covered. 83 was wide open. Wide open. Wide open.
Charlie Warner dropped the big one that pissed me off really bad. Like
I've
about had it with Charlie Warner.
Good pass by Jimmy. That was a good pass.
That was right there. I mean, that was to his hands.
The one that was to Ray too. Like Ray should have caught that one as well.
Yeah, that one to Ray was a good pass too. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying that all of it is on Jimmy, I am saying that the problem with Jimmy is he gets too confident, and then he starts thinking like, poof, 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 poof. And then it's like, oh shit, here we go. It's like interception. It's like, oh God, Jimmy, what the heck?
It comes to a point where you know your quarterback cannot read through his progression. So you actually, I don't know. We don't know as a whole whether or not Kyle tells Jimmy who's getting the ball. You understand what I'm saying? We don't know if Kyle's saying you're going to hit Ayuk across the middle, and if the safety drops down and it becomes triple coverage, then it becomes triple fucking coverage, and it's Jimmy will always execute what Kyle says. Kyle's never going to leave Jimmy to do anything on his own, which could be a fault to Kyle.
But here's the thing, John. Okay, here's the thing. I am sorry. I will argue this. I will die on this hill. If you are a quarterback, and Brian Colt just said Jimmy believes in himself. Okay, so let's say that's true. Let's just say that's true. If you're a quarterback, and Jimmy is playing for his next contract, everybody, so keep that in mind. So if you're playing for your next contract, let me say this. I don't give a shit if Kyle calls wild ass down the street, whatever. I don't give a fuck. My point is, like, if you're a quarterback and you see wild ass down the street is covered, then it's your job as the quarterback to throw it to the wide open guy. You're supposed to bail Kyle out as a quarterback. Like, Kyle's not always right. Like, I don't give a shit.
But he often today there were calls that were super suspect. Super suspect.
But my point, John, is Kyle is not always going to be right. That's why your quarterback on the field is supposed to bail you out. Like, if he calls a play and it blows up, then you're supposed to be the one on the field who fucking makes it happen. That's your job.
That's true. But here's the thing. I don't agree that Kyle will always have to hold Jimmy's hand through his success. And every other coach going into this season knew that. They weren't going to waste their time holding Jimmy's hand for over $26 million. Nobody was going to take on that contract and hold his hand. Jimmy's never going to bail you out. Jimmy's never going to put the team on his back. It's scheme or not. It's just Kyle has to scheme plays to Jimmy's strengths. And that's why we are so limited. That's why today looked like such shit. Because it just the throws were subpar. All right, they were decent. There was one that came back because of Brendel, rolling out. He rolled out and he could have taken the extra yards, got the first down right on the 5-yard line, or maybe even closer. He just threw it and then he overthrew Kittle in the corner. It was just garbage. There was plenty of green in front of you and no one there to stop you. Run the fucking ball.
They said that Kittle ran the wrong route. That's what the TV announcers.
Kittle was fucking next to fucking useless tonight anyway, so I don't care. He's become more of a blocker than he's become an offensive asset. And I guess, that's no one to blame but the front office, because, we fucking said this offensive line was Swiss cheese from the start. And
well, yeah, that I definitely blame on them. But I'm just saying, like, it's just frustrating to me because, like, I see people wide open, and Jimmy literally, I swear to God, like, always throws into coverage, and it drives me insane.
Yes, because he doesn't see them, Denise. He's not looking there. He is a one-read quarterback, and that means he finds his escape valve, and that's it. Generally, he'll throw it to Debo if he's covered with a blindfold. Somebody could fucking run up behind Debo, put a bag over his head, and Jimmy will be like, all right, I think he could see through it. Fuck it. And he'll throw it.
So Brian wants to keep just blaming the wide receivers that they can't catch. Ayuk had 8 receptions. George Kittle had 8 receptions. Debo Samuel had 7 receptions. Juice had 4 receptions. Like, how many receptions do you expect these guys to have?
Did you want
Ayuk to have 15 receptions? Like, they can't keep carrying. Like, Jimmy has to fucking do something too.
Yes.
Like,
and if the run game was not going anywhere, Miriah, it wasn't. So we were getting all of these receptions.
That's why Kyle kept calling passes, is because they were getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage. They weren't going anywhere.
But to sit here and act like our wide receivers are shit, like you're sadly fucking mistaken.
No,
like, there was a couple bad drops, but one was from a backup tight end. A fucking backup tight end, not our wide receivers.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, and the other was a Ray. Yeah, I already said he should have caught that. He's our fifth fucking wide receiver. Like, put context behind it. Not just that our star wide receivers are out there dropping passes from Jimmy Garoppolo the entire game, and that's why we lost this game. That's not true. That's far from fucking being true.
No. Like I said,
we lost this game. We lost this game defensively, in a nutshell. But I mean, defensively, we could not stop them.
And I agree, but like Miriah said,
the offense has to be able to put points up on the fucking board. 14 points in the first half, and then that's it. Fucking crickets the rest of the fucking whole entire second half of the fucking game. The offense can't put a fucking point on the board. Not even a fucking field goal.
Yes. Not even a field goal. The offense took over 6 minutes to drive from the 1 to get upfield. It took them 6 minutes or better to get upfield because we cannot get chunk plays.
Nobody is saying this was all on Jimmy. Like, why? It's not. But we're trying to say it's not. Brian's trying to act like it's all on the wide receivers. Now he wants to say, oh, it's 50%. But this entire thread, you have been trashing the freaking wide receivers, acting like Jimmy played a perfect game. That's not true. That's all we're trying to say. I'm not saying this loss is on Jimmy.
No,
it's on the fucking offense. The entire offense.
Yeah.
Couldn't put points on the fucking board. Now, whether you wanted to take that and be so quick to jump to fucking Jimmy's defense without freaking listening to what people are saying. Stop trying to just defend Jimmy. You're so quick to just defend Jimmy all the fucking time. Nobody is saying this loss is on Jimmy. Nobody's saying Jimmy had a horrible game. No one is saying that. Not one single person here has said that.
No. Like I said, Jimmy had some good passes. He did. Our receivers did drop the ball. That is true. That is all true. But what I was saying is the problem with Jimmy is when he starts, throwing good passes, the problem is he gets it in his mind and he gets overconfident. That is the problem. And that's when we get in trouble. That's when we get in trouble.
Like Jimmy threw 2 interceptions. You can't win a game with 3 fucking turnovers. You can't. So if you think Jimmy played a perfect game and threw 2 interceptions, you guys aren't putting enough blame on Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes.
You think
like we fumbled the ball and we threw 2 interceptions. You are not winning the game like that.
You guys are enamored by this dink and dunk aspect of Jimmy's game. And it is an awesome game plan if you can also make big throws. We don't get chunk plays. That's why it took 6 fucking minutes to get upfield. That's not normal. Josh Allen can throw from the 1 to the 35-yard line and make a completion. And he could throw that in a dart. He could take 2 big throws and make it upfield. And that's in less than a minute and a half. Come on, guys. You guys are enamored by this dink and dunk shit.
And the other problem is, like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, did you guys notice in the game? Here's what else killed us. Every time we had a positive play, we got a penalty and it took us back. Every single time. Every single time. Brandon Ayuk caught that long bomb. Jake Brendel held all the way back. Yeah. All the way back.
And then, like, the very next play or 2 plays later, it was a nice play. Jake Brendel freaking does something else stupid. Another freaking penalty. Brings that freaking play back. It's like.
Yep. So I think we ended the game. The last time I checked, it was 12. I don't know what we ended with. I don't know if that's what we ended the game with. The last time I checked, we had 12 penalties.
Oh my
God. Hurt us too. The penalties hurt us as well.
Let me see.
And the last time I checked, Atlanta only had 5.
This says that we both have 5.
Jeff Wilson's not the starter. I get that. I totally get that. But no one's saying that when he was doing good. No one's saying that no one's saying that Jeff Wilson's not a starter when he's doing good.
Have 5 penalties, Miriah?
Yeah, that's what it says.
That's weird because when I looked it up, it said I don't know, whatever. But all I know is every time we had a positive play, it got brought back by penalties, which pissed me off. Every single
that once the run game, we couldn't establish a run game. When we cannot establish our dominance in the run game, that's when I know shit's about to get real. I wasn't even surprised by the outcome of this. I really wasn't. Because I don't give a shit how many fucking injuries we had today. We could have won this game. We could have won this game. We could have put points up on the board, but we did not. We just didn't.
Yeah.
We are not a come from behind team, and we won't be until we get fucking.
And we haven't been for the last how many years?
And that is 200% the truth, John. Right there, you hit the nail on the head. We're not a come from behind team.
But you know what, Denise? It comes with one explanation. We cannot make every throw on the football field. We are one of the prime organizations in the NFL, and we still cannot make every throw on the football field. We cannot make those chunk plays. You need to make chunk plays to come back. Patrick Mahomes makes up for all of his losses. He makes up for it in big ass chunk plays.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We just cannot do that. I mean, we might have one trick play and we might execute it a dozen times throughout the week. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we're screwed. Everything scripted. That's where a lot of these Jimmy fanatics just start to lose sight. Jimmy gets worse as the scripted plays are through.
Yeah, of course.
Once your scripted plays are through, he's a fish out of water. It's just screen game, little slants.
And we saw that today. That's why we put up points, 14 points, quick like that, and then nothing after that. The scripted plays run out, and that's it.
Hi, guys. How are you? All that for that.
And that's what and that is my point. That is my point. That's why I'm telling you guys. That's why I said when Trey went down, I was like, oh shit. And everyone was like, don't get me wrong. Like everybody was like, oh, thank God. I told Miriah, we all need to get together and have a GoFundMe account and get some angel wings for Jimmy because everybody thinks Jimmy Falopolo is our savior. So we need to buy him some angel wings and have them sent to him. Like, I'm not saying that Jimmy is the worst quarterback in the NFL, but what I am saying is what John said. Jimmy Garoppolo is not the quarterback that can put his team on his back and get you a win. That's what our problem is. So when we're
perfect, the circumstances have to be perfect.
Exactly. Like he can't bring us from behind. Like you said, John, you used a perfect example. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, they can literally get you down the field in less than a minute.
Like so can Rodgers, so can Brady, so can Tannehill. These guys can make big throws. Even Derek Carr, as much as I hate to say it, the dude can make big throws.
Yeah, absolutely.
And who's to say that Jimmy doesn't see Kittle wide open? But if Jimmy's not comfortable throwing it that far, then I'm sorry. It's just he could see it. For all we know, he sees it and just cowers from it because I can't. I don't believe in myself to make that throw.
But he did.
Or Shanahan won't let him.
But the thing of it is, the throw that he made to Brandon Ayuk wasn't it a long? It was a pretty long throw, wasn't it? Or was I hallucinating?
He had a few different long balls.
But was Ayuk covered by triple coverage in the process?
No, that's the one Ayuk caught and fucking it got called back because of Brindle.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he wasn't draped in coverage.
I mean, honestly,
always open in this scheme, right? They always say you will always have someone open.
That throw. So people want me to give credit. That throw right there to Brandon Ayuk was Jimmy Garoppolo's best throw of the game. It was in Brandon Ayuk's breadbasket. Like it was like he dropped it right in there. It was like boom. It was right in there. It was a beautiful throw from Jimmy Garoppolo. You want me to give Jimmy Garoppolo credit? That was a beautiful.
Said it was in double coverage.
Huh?
Okay.
Bebop said that Ayuk deep pass was in double coverage.
So was that the
but it
throw?
was a good throw.
Yeah.
It was
Was that
it was
that
over
was
and in his breadbasket.
yeah, I missed the throw because I was working, but I saw everything else. My problem is this.
DeMarcus,
This is
one
my
of those
problem.
deep throws were dropped by a backup tight end, and the other by our fifth string wide receiver. The one to Brandon Ayuk was brought back by a penalty. Like, what are you talking about? The wide receivers couldn't catch.
Oh, Jesus Christ, people. Come on.
Brandon Ayuk's the only one that can fucking put up points in this damn game.
Oh, God, guys. Come on, man.
I mean, a slant is not a big throw. If you guys out there that support Jimmy so much, if you guys are enamored by a slant, that's not a big throw. Fuck, I bet you could make a fucking slant. I mean, a slant is not a big throw in the NFL. I'm sorry, it's just not. If you need to know what every fucking throw on the football field is, my friends, check out Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Look at those dudes. They make every fucking throw on the field, fam. That's how they win. Okay? They don't dink and dunk and waste 6 minutes fucking throwing little ass slants and little screens and a bunch of bullshit.
When we're in a hurry to fucking put up points, the game's on the line, and it takes us 6 minutes to get down the fucking field and come away with absolutely fucking nothing.
Zero.
Okay, I'm gonna
14 fucking points down.
John just brought up a good point. So all you people in the chat who are like, Jimmy.
I said that, DeMarcus. I said Ray dropped one. So what are we talking about? I've said that 15 fucking times already that Ray dropped one.
Ray is Richie James 2.0. I mean,
so what are we talking about?
Never an upgrade.
I have said that. Like, you guys are so quick to only hear what you fucking want to hear.
We've already said that our receivers did drop some good passes.
Oh my God.
He didn't. But what we're saying is, and what John said, which was spot on, John said that Jimmy Garoppolo is not a quarterback who can bring you back from being behind. And John V is 100% correct. And if you want to watch our next game against Patty Mahomes, you are going to get slaughtered. I am a 49ers fan, diehard 49er fans, and I am going to be frightened the whole game because I am pretty much sure we're going to get slaughtered in our own stadium.
Look, this is how I see it, okay? Because my takes on Jimmy can often be jaded.
I didn't say that was on Jimmy. Like, I don't understand like where this is coming from. Like, if you're just here to argue, like with everything I've said, I put the blame on Ray. I didn't say it was on Jimmy, and yet you want to keep just coming like with this shit. Like, I don't get it. Like, if like go watch someone else, like, please, because like I don't understand. Like, I don't want to have to be fighting with you. Like,
yeah, and the fact that we have to fight with one another is
like,
absolutely insane. Like, if you guys are just looking for people, if you're looking for people to fight with, bro, find somebody else, fam. Because you want to sit here and tell me that if any one of you Jimmy supporters can tell me that Jimmy can make every throw on the field, put it in the chat right now. You want to fight? I'll give you a fight. Come on.
Like, you want to come in on my own show and try to put words into my mouth?
You guys know
I have
damn
to come
well.
out of character. Like, I've said 60,000 times that it's not on Jimmy. So why do you continue to tell me that I'm saying that it's on Jimmy? Like, that's not the case.
None of us. I didn't say it was on
Jimmy. Like, I'm not calmed down because you're already like the 10th person that has done this. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, none of us.
I don't think that we lost because of Jimmy today. But I will not sit here and listen to people say that Jimmy can make every throw on the field, because they know that's false. Even if you are hanging from Jimmy, if your head is in his lap, you know damn well, deep down inside, admit it or don't, that Jimmy Garoppolo cannot make every fucking throw on the football field. That argument stands. I will take that to anyone. Everything Jimmy does is at the line of scrimmage or behind it.
Yes.
Come on, guys. Those little dots, those little green dots on those diagrams you see on Twitter, those green dots are completions. They're not Madden plays, they're fucking completions. Okay?
Yes.
Those completions are at the line of scrimmage or just in front of it. They start behind it. all those yak yards come from behind the line of scrimmage. Come on, family. Don't sit here and act like
Okay,
our quarterback can make every throw.
there is a reason there's a reason that Kyle Shanahan brought in the type of receivers he brought in. There is a reason that we did not go get a Danny Gray until we got Trey Lance. There is a reason for that. That is the reason they are called the Yak Bros. Pay attention, the Yak Bros. You know why? Because they get yards after the catch.
Yeah,
Hear
that's
me?
true. But there's
Yards
still some
after the catch.
context to that too, Denise. There's still some context with Danny Gray too. You see, from what I hear, he's having a hard time running his routes. So there's
My
context. I mean,
point is speed. Kyle didn't bring in that type of receiver because there was no point before.
Again, we'll continue to say the reason that those quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Mahomes, that they can make those kind of errors and get away with that kind of shit because they're able to bring their team back. They're able to make the throws that they need to make when it counts.
Ryan, are you honestly
I don't
gonna
understand.
be nitpicking?
Like I swear,
I didn't say Josh Allen completes 36 of 36.
Like you're acting
okay?
like somebody dropped you on your head.
Did you watch this game a year ago? Did you watch the Bills versus Kansas City last year? That was a shootout. If you think that your quarterback that you hail so gallantly for, if you think that Jimmy could have won that shootout versus Patrick Mahomes, you're sadly mistaken. He can't throw with the velocity. He can't throw with the distance. I told you guys the dink and dunk concept came from a limited quarterback fucking 40 years ago. Bill Walsh implemented this nonsense with a limited quarterback. I believe it was in Cincinnati. The dink and dunk concept was designed for a limited quarterback who could not make all of the throws on the football field.
Exactly.
Is it successful? It is successful. Imagine being able to dink and dunk and also make big chunk plays. Massive throws, great throws, over the top throws. Jimmy throws a ball, and it's no fault to his own. If he doesn't have the strong arm, that's fine. But I watched him throw a ball last week, and it didn't come down out of the sky for like ever. You understand? There's no velocity behind those throws. When you see these guys make big throws, they travel fast and they make their mark. They make their mark, man. Jimmy, the situation for Jimmy to succeed has to be perfect. It just does. Today, I'm not putting this on Jimmy, but I wish that Jimmy could make bigger throws because we might have won this game. Because I'm sorry, we were depleted in the defense.
And
But
wide receivers are going to
we
have
had
drop.
all of our weapons.
The
We
running
had
game's not
everyone.
going to always work, but that's when you need a quarterback to bring you over the top and win the game for you. That's what we're trying to say. We're not trying to say the loss is on Jimmy. But when everything else isn't working, you need to have someone step up and do it. We don't have a quarterback that can do that.
I will
That's
not
all
put
we're
this on
saying.
Jimmy.
Like,
I refuse to let you guys tell me that Jimmy was that I don't think anybody on this fucking panel says that Jimmy was the reason why this game was not successful.
No, that's not what I said.
There's an aspect of Jimmy's game that's missing, and it just is what it is. The league knows who we are. The league knows how we use Jimmy. The league knows how we use George. The league knows how we use Debo, and Kittle and Ayuk or Jennings and Ayuk are just collateral damage in this situation because they just know how we play the game, fam.
Yes,
we got away with this in 2019. We got away with it because we were so successful with it.
This is all I've been trying to say, throwback, but I get called that I'm putting the game on Jimmy, a hater, I'm this, I'm all this crazy ass shit. But then Jimmy and Kittle come out and say the same thing, and I don't know.
I mean, it's really hard. Being a fan in this fan base because it's so divided. It's so hard. It's so hard to be understood.
John, that's what's so funny. When I came out and said, all I said was, I said, this is the game where we need to Jimmy needs to put the game on his back, and we need Jimmy Garoppolo to step up. Can he do it? Question mark. That is all I said, and I literally got blasted. And everyone's like, "Oh, our defense is struggling because people acted like I was throwing shots at our defense." I was like, "I'm not taking shots. I know we're hurt. Like, I get it. I know we're hurt. Like, I'm not taking shots." And then all of a sudden, it was like, "Well, Jimmy's dropping dimes everywhere. Our receivers are dropping the ball." I'm like, hold on a second. Like, I'm literally saying that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have to carry us this game, because if he doesn't, we're going to lose the game, because the bottom line is our defense is depleted and we need our offense and Jimmy to step up. That is what I was saying, and I was getting roasted on Twitter for it. And I'm like, what I'm saying is, yes, did our receivers drop the ball? Yes, they did. But like you said, John, we do not have a quarterback who can play from behind. We don't have that. We don't have that. So the bottom line is, when we caught up and we were 14 even, I was like, okay, we're 14 even. All right, let's hold on to the lead. Let's see if we can, make some adjustments, come back and, start kicking some ass. And the bottom line is Jimmy, like, again, and I'm going to keep repeating myself and I don't give a shit, but like I said this, the problem with Jimmy is once he starts throwing dimes, as you guys all say in the chat, and he starts making good passes, Jimmy Garoppolo then thinks, oh, hey, I'm Patty Mahomes, I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm Josh Allen, I can make all the throws. And that's when he starts throwing into triple coverage, and that's when he starts throwing into double coverage, and that's when we get in trouble and he starts getting intercepted. That is what I am saying. Like, I am not saying Jimmy cost us the game. This was a whole offensive, defensive loss. Like, we lost as a team. We lost as a team. It was everybody. It was not all on Jimmy.
Today was the offense's job to bail out the defense. They're hurt.
Yeah.
Today was their turn to stand up and put this game on their back as a whole. Collectively as a whole. Not a Jimmy, because we know Jimmy cannot carry this team independently. Not on Debo, because they know we're going to use Debo the way we use Debo. This offense needed to be creative. There lacked creativity today. Do you understand? There was a lack of creativity today. And that's no shot at Kyle, but it's kind of a shot at Kyle. Because, I mean, we needed something.
Even when there was players wide open, Jimmy wasn't throwing the ball to them. That is my issue with Jimmy. And people can hate me for it. I don't give a shit. When there's players,
we know that Jimmy's not gonna.
Yeah, we know that, but still, there is some blame. The offense as blame means blame on Kyle too. Kyle's part of the offense. The offensive players on the field plus Kyle, all of them.
Yes, the offense as a whole deserves blame. The offense as a whole deserves blame. And yes, Kyle is part of the offense, and I am a huge Kyle person. The part that pisses me off is when Kyle does scheme people open, Jimmy, and I don't care if Deebo Samuel is his first read. I don't give a shit if Brandon Ayuk is your second read. If those players are fucking covered and fucking Willie Snead, number 83, is wide fucking open down the field, and you're not throwing the ball to him, yes, that pisses me off. Because Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes would have thrown it to Willie Snead.
Yes, but Denise, that expectation is unreasonable because Jimmy cannot make all the reads. First of all, we don't have Trent. So I'm not going to blame Jimmy entirely for not being able to make his reads. The pressure was coming today. The pressure came very quickly. So when
even
DeMarcus
more so
Dixon,
after Mike McGlinchey went out.
DeMarcus was right. That last comment that you posted, he's right. He's finally coming around. He's listening. Now, Bryant says that guys went down today. Yes, guys went down today, but they were defensive players with the addition of, I think, McGlinchey's calf was fucked up. Okay. Who else offensively went out? We had the weapons to win the game today. We just didn't execute creatively. I'm sorry. There was no creativity in the offense today. It was very bland, very slow. It didn't develop into anything. The run game, I said this again, if you run the ball 16 times and you don't get better than 50 yards, 16 runs and we got 50 yards, that's kind of impressive because that's not a lot.
Well,
Right?
and you know what, DeMarcus, I agree with you 100%. And I was pissed off we did not draft a top center. So I agree with you. We should have, we all knew that we needed a center. So why John Lynch did not draft a center is beyond me. And yes,
Okay,
we drafted.
how bad is he? How bad is Brendel really? I mean, we don't have Trent there. We don't have we didn't have McGlinchey. The timing on the offensive line is crucial. So if
But my
Brendel
point,
fucks up,
John,
it's based off of timing. He's not fucking up any other way. He found himself in the second level today, upfield where he didn't fucking belong.
But my point, John, is I agree with DeMarcus on this, is that Kyle's offense is so center based. Like the center is such a demanding position in his offense. Like, I'm sorry, Kyle especially should know better. We needed a top center. We should have drafted a top center. Like we
Yes,
should have
because
drafted.
the center calls the protections, but we don't know what Brendel's doing. He could be calling protections. I mean, that's the only reason why the center is so important to this offense is because they call protections. They're verbal and they're cerebral.
That was to me like a huge, like we should have drafted a top center. Like we should have.
I know.
You know,
I think the Alex Mack situation kind of fucked us.
Well, him waiting until the last fucking minute to tell us he was going to retire, that pissed me off. Like, if you knew you were going to retire.
But the writing was on the wall too, though. I mean, you know, these guys, you know.
And even Shanahan and John said they knew what he was going to do. They were just waiting for him to tell. So
right.
That ain't on Alex. He can retire whenever the hell he wants.
I don't think
that's up to the 49ers to cover their ass and fucking take care of business, and they fucking didn't.
Niners, Dodgers. Exactly. I think it's too early to say we're wasting an elite defense. We just this defense it's not wasted yet. They're hurt. They're banged up. We need to get to the bye week, and we need to get right. You'll see this team turn around. At the end of the day, today we lacked creativity. That's what I feel the most. That would be my best take, is that we lacked creativity in the offense today. If you cannot get the run game going, you know, where the fuck is Jordan Mason? I mean, I'm starting to believe that like Kyle doesn't believe in Jordan Mason.
Well, he doesn't trust him for something, whether it's the run game, whether it's blocking, whether it's doing his other assignments. It's not running. There's too much that he can't do as a rookie yet.
Because
PDP came back from injury and he was in the game today. So
yeah, for how many carries did he get today?
More than Mason.
Playbook. Yeah. That's what I heard. Mason's having issues with the playbook. That's what I heard. And that was straight from Kyle.
Like, I mean, if we draft a wide receivers in the first round, second round, third round, and it takes them 2-3 years to get down the playbook and to where they're comfortable in the offense, why are we expecting undrafted freaking rookies to come in and be able to know all this shit when they have to block? They have to do so much more in this offense than what they had to do in college offense.
Exactly.
Brian, that's I mean, that's the attitude, but I don't know that if it's anything like it was today, my friend, it's gonna be a long day. I think Kansas City. I have to see how many of these guys are going to come back for Kansas City. We don't even know what McGlinchey did to his calf. Do we know? Did anybody watch the presser yet?
I know Throwback did.
Did they say what McGlinchey's injury is? I hope it wasn't a tear.
I don't know, because he came back, he tried to come back in and then he went out again. So I don't know.
Oh boy.
And with Tarvarius Ward's injury, like that's what scares me even more, because we already lost our freaking other cornerback, you know, so to have him out, like the thing, I was so excited that we finally had a back end to, you know, for this defense. And
yeah, me too.
Well, you know, we lacked the fucking pass rush today. We couldn't get home. So we put all of that on the secondary, and they got fucked.
What happened to
You know?
Drake Jackson? What happened to Drake Jackson?
He had a sack today.
He was there.
No, he got hurt. He's on the injured report.
Oh, I didn't see.
Or at least that's what I saw. I thought someone said Drake Jackson got hurt too. So I don't know. That's why I asked when he said the pass rush.
The pass rush just wasn't, obviously it's not what it was. It's not what it's supposed to be. So you're putting a great deal on the secondary, and now they have a lot of ground to make up for. And the size difference between Kyle Pitts and is Kyle Pitts, or was it, who did Lenore have today? Who was he on today? Was he on London? Somebody is 6'4" with a ridiculous wingspan, and Lenore is 5'11", expected to cover that. The mismatch was just fucking stupid. I think it was on. I think it was London. London's a big dude, right?
Yeah.
Pitts is big too. So regardless, the matchups were going to be shit. Trying to see.
We gave up a lot of yards, man. Today the offense needed to be creative, and they needed to compensate for the defense. And unfortunately, I don't know. It's just it sucks because the scripted plays are where we excel, right? And then we struggle the entire game to put up points. We struggle the entire game to put up points outside of scripted plays. That's not right. It's not right.
So all that we're saying about the offensive line and all this and all that, but Jimmy wasn't even sacked once today, so.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to keep him upright. They did. But how many pressures did they give up?
And that was without Trent Williams, Colton McKivitz, and Mike McGlinchey.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
all necessary reps, all very necessary reps.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't blaming it on them. But I mean, I don't. Like I said, whatever.
I'm trying to see.
I don't even know who to blame collectively. I just think that we failed to be creative today, and I think that's the problem.
Like I said, to me,
and this was the problem. This was what I feared with the loss of McDaniel, the creativity. I see the loss of creativity since he's not here. I mean, I don't know if you guys see that, but I mean, I've been worried about this the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't think. I mean, yeah, it's like I can see it, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and say McDaniels was the genius and Kyle, can't do anything without him. I disagree with that, but that's just.
I don't think nobody said that.
Yeah, I mean,
said he had a part in the run game. Like, I mean, if you don't think then you're the one that's mistaken.
They were attached at the hip for
years and years and years and years. Like
they were. He was Kyle's right hand man.
Exactly.
And anybody that says otherwise, that you're full of shit. Because McDaniel and Kyle were literally in the lab together designing plays. And I think that lack of creativity has two brains are better than one.
Yeah, I agree with that. That I don't disagree with.
I think it's a lot to put on a person. And I think that, it's not like you can just go back to last year's playbook and be like, hey, we're going to do this all over again. It's like everybody knows what we're doing. Like we need something. Like we need something to tip this offense. Like we need something. It's not going to be a vertical threat because we don't have a quarterback that's a vertical threat to anyone. So we don't need a vertical threat. Okay, we just don't. We don't need a vertical threat.
I mean, we have one that's inactive every game.
Yes, exactly. What is he, a healthy scratch today?
Yeah.
So you just didn't fit the scheme today.
Yep.
We couldn't take advantage of a banged up Atlanta secondary at the end of the game. We couldn't get in the red zone. We wasted 6 minutes driving up the field, guys. We wasted 6 minutes driving up the field. That's stupid time, guys. You don't do that. You do that with the lead. You don't do that trying to come
not
from
down
behind.
by 14.
I mean, you just don't do that.
That I agree with 200%. That I do put on Kyle. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? We need to score. Where's the long bomb?
But I don't even know how much of that is honestly his fault, Denise. I just feel like as a coach, you have one duty, right? To coach to your quarterback's strengths. And I feel that we have just done this year in and year out. There is so much tape on Kyle coaching to Jimmy's strengths that it's just like, we're not fooling anyone. And a team like Atlanta, dude, they were so ready for this. They were so ready for us. Even with the defense at full strength, the offense was still butt crack.
Right?
Yeah.
No, you guys are right. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with the 6. Like, I couldn't believe that. I was like, dude, this is not the time to milk the fucking clock. That's for damn sure. We're fucking down.
I don't even think we were milking it, Denise. I think that's our full capability.
That's with no run game. Like,
yeah, that's with no run game. You can't run the ball under those circumstances.
No, like that's really what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, but I mean, you're right, John. Like, that's when we needed to like score. Like, we needed to like boom, boom, boom. Like, we needed to get down the field and fast. Like,
CMC is not the answer, DeMarcus. He'd definitely be a tool. He would definitely be a tool, but he's not the answer. I mean, if we can't stay healthy in this system, a guy like CMC could go down faster than a lawn chair.
Yeah, imagine trading all this assets for him and taking on that big ass contract, and he goes down the first fucking game that we have him.
Yeah,
that's the 49ers kind of luck right there.
I mean, look at us. We're a dozen men down right now. We're a dozen men injured.
The most injuries in the entire freaking league again.
If we brought CMC on this team and he started today and he walked off as healthy, I'd been shocked. I'd be in shock.
Matt Bayoko had tweeted that Kyle Shanahan said Nick Bosa had a chance to play today, but they opted to keep him out another week. He could be back versus Kansas City, and Trent Williams has a chance to play too.
Wow. And that's fine. There's no reason to rush him back. Today to have rushed Nick back and to set him back 3 weeks, could you imagine that shit?
Yeah.
Could you imagine
I had
that
said
shit?
that, like, I was hoping that they kept Nick out because
groins are
playing on turf again. Injury. Like, imagine.
Groins are such
if Kyle would have played Nick and he would have got, injured even worse, people would be really pissed off then.
It would have been #fire Kyle for sure.
Yeah, it would have been. I mean, I agree with John though. Like, that is one thing I 100% agree with. Like, it's like, and you know what? You guys are right about the creativity too. Like, it's like, yo, Kyle, you need to go find yourself another Mike McDaniel. Where's he hiding?
That's honestly probably impossible. Those guys grew together.
Yeah,
they had their ups and downs together over the course of Kyle's their entire career together.
Imagine having somebody's like brain and everything that like matches, your own, that you can go back and forth and just bounce off like endless amounts of freaking ideas, like coming off of each other, like.
I mean, I saw Kyle has aged a decade.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
he has aged a decade since last season. Like, just losing.
I feel like every season he's aged a decade.
Yeah, because he loses an asset
from when he first came. Like each year, like he looks so old.
He loses an asset every season. He lost, but you gain D'Amico, which is going to be devastating. That's going to make.
Yeah.
And you know what? The one thing I do feel bad for Kyle, and I will say this, is like. I feel bad at the fact that Kyle loses more coaches every year than anyone else. You know what I mean? Like,
all due to success.
Yep.
All due to success.
That is, yeah.
All of our coaches are like, bye, 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 bye. I'm like, fuck. And we all know that D'Amico's going to be gone next year. Like, we're going to lose his ass next year, too. It's like, God dang it. Like, shit.
Yeah, this is what Rodney says. This is something like I always am like, what the fuck, you know? Like, why would they hire a hockey medical team for a football team? And especially like, you know, like I hear the announcers and stuff talk about it. Yeah. And they're always like, oh, they might have wanted to get ahead of the curve and whatever, thought that hockey was going to be, you know, be the new next thing. Well, you've seen that it hasn't worked. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you see that, if you go with hockey staff and see that the hockey staff isn't working and you keep being the most injured team in football year after year after year after year, why are you not making a change?
This whole time, I never knew we had hockey medical staff.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, the human body is a human body, right? I mean, you know,
yeah, but but for different sports, you prepare a different way.
That's true. That's
everything.
True. That's
you
that's
condition
true.
Everything about it.
No wonder we're the most injured team. Like, how stupid! Like, what the hell? I didn't know that. Oh my god, that explains something.
Like, hockey players don't run; they don't nothing.
No, you know, not for nothing though. Like, I always wonder, like,
this will literally be
this, like,
team we fired.
How cooperative are the players with the medical staff? Like, do they follow what they're told? Are they 100%?
It seems like they do. Besides Bosa, that's off on his own, but for everybody else, they are always talking about that they're there with the medical staff.
But you know what? Like, that is 100% facts right there. Like, why the fuck would you hire a hockey medical staff for a football team? Okay, you guys, I have a question. Who's the least injured football team?
The
chart
came out today. Let me see. I saved it.
Oh, cool.
I don't even. Where did you get that chart? I'd like the chart.
We steal their medical team. Can we give them a raise? We give them a raise.
Because last time I checked, I think we were invested financially pretty damn good. I think we spent quite a bit of money on this medical team, if I'm not mistaken.
But they suck, like Miriah said.
I don't know. I don't know how bad they suck. I don't know how bad they suck. What if they don't suck? What if it's just the system? What if we just get you banged the fuck up? Because, I mean, it's not like any one person on this team is healthier than the next. Everybody's getting fucking hurt.
But so we just keep going into year after year and letting it happen without ever trying to switch up and make changes?
I thought we did change the medical team a few times in the last few seasons.
This has been the same one that we've had for like 4 or 5 years now.
No. We did make a switch.
When right after Kyle first came, and that's when they hired on these guys, and they have been ever since.
No, Miriah. Didn't we?
At least 3 or 4 years, this guy has been the medical staff. I know for a fact.
Yeah, it might be.
Kyle came in after a little bit. They fired the staff that was there, and they hired this hockey staff in, and it's been this hockey staff ever since.
Okay, so what I'm saying, so who's the least injured team?
I'm trying to find the damn thing.
Oh, okay, sorry. So here's another question. Do you know, does the medical staff sign along?
Philly.
Oh, Philly, okay. And Philly plays an aggressive style like us, I would say. Wouldn't you say that?
Everyone plays an aggressive style. I don't know how much you can hold the medical staff. You know, they seem to get guys up and going. I mean, if they're banged up, I don't know what the Greenbrier did. They act like that as a fortress of solitude. I don't understand what that goddamn place is. They act like it's like, you know, like it's just channeled with monks. Like, what are they doing there? What are they doing?
Out riding ATVs. Jimmy said he was at the casino. So
yeah, Jimmy's getting his hair dyed. The guys are riding ATVs. Some guys are playing Madden. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I thought that you went there to heal. I thought they were fucking healers here. Like, I'm trying to understand what you're doing at the Greenbrier.
Oh my God, that's
hot natural springs with honey with honey. Did you guys realize they emphasized the Greenbrier like it was some kind of like
They said it's like Duck
natural
Dynasty
feeling?
there. Like it's a natural museum. Like the rooms have like grandma flowered wallpapers. The beds are like
Yeah.
old
I
style. Like
totally
the players don't seem
misunderstood.
to really like it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
and Kyle
that's
thought it was the great escape.
hysterical.
Yeah.
That
I
is
must have
so
been the only person that thought that they emphasized like time away from home and time to heal. That the guys really respond well to the treatments there.
It's not that
I
there's
must have made
treatments
this
there
up.
or nothing. It's just so that they don't have to travel back to the West Coast and travel back. It just saves the travel time.
Right.
Saves
Okay,
all
yeah,
that. They can just
yeah,
stay
yeah,
in one
yeah,
place and get their shit done.
yeah. You're
And
right
I
because the
mean, usually that
inflammation, traveling.
does work for them. I mean, they've
but
every time that they've done that has worked, except for this time. So
They need to
I
get
agree
their asses
with
back here to
Maya
Youngstown.
100%. Like, maybe it is time to fire them because I didn't even know. Like, I'm not seriously. I feel much smarter now because I didn't realize that we had a hockey medical staff. I thought we had a football medical staff. Like, I don't know what the difference is, but like, I didn't know
These
that.
guys
Like, I
don't
was,
fuck around. I feel like if Kyle and John and Jed York, if they sat down and discussed this and thought that the medical staff was a problem, that they'd be gone by now. Right? Don't you think they'd
you
be
guys
gone by now?
question. That's why I keep asking. Do you know? Maybe you don't know, and if you don't, that's cool. Just say you don't know. Do medical staff people do they sign long contracts, or is it like year to year, or how does that work? Do you know?
I have no
I
idea.
imagine everybody in the football world has to sign a contract because you're not uprooting your family, moving them state to state, and all this shit for not signing a contract. So
Yeah.
I highly doubt it would be a year to year.
Contract. But you're saying you highly doubt it's year to year. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah. I was curious because I was like,
Yeah, you're probably right. They probably sign a 4-year contract. This is what we're going to be. This
okay.
way, it's job security for 4 years, unless you're really fucking trash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why I was asking because I assumed that, but I didn't know that for a
If
fact.
you're
So I didn't
fucking
know if you guys
tasing
knew.
players, you know what I mean? Then we have a problem. But
Stabbing them in the lung and shit. Like
yeah, like if you're hitting them with
chargers.
a stick, like get up.
Get up. Oh
I
shit,
just
dude.
I
God.
feel like you know I don't know, man. I hate how every time this team shits the bed, we we are misconstrued or we get into arguments with our own faithful. It sucks. I hate that because it's not me. I hate doing it. I hate arguing with fans. I really do. I just like to vent on my page and just curse. Just send a fuck, a motherfuck, and a couple more fucks and just express myself that way because I mean I see guys missing plays just getting into arguments like threads of shit. Like, what are you watching this fucking game or not, people? I only got time to cuss and then get back to it.
I know. I barely put out a tweet that our offense needs to step up, and I freaking got dragged through all kinds of dirt and shit. So, like,
Yeah, me too, dude. I said the same thing. I said something about the Jimmy and the offense, and man, people came for my head. I was like, all right,
come here, and it just continues on throughout the whole show. Like, all right.
Hey, Bebop, do you really think that Jed's being a cheapskate? Because I feel like ever since he gave Kyle the keys to the castle, I feel like he just opened his wallet to whatever. I mean, he was open to keeping
I do
Jimmy on
not
a
think
roster for $26 million. I mean, what could cost any more than that you wouldn't really be willing to spend? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I'm like, no.
And the players and the coaches and everybody are always talking about how the 49ers have the nicest of everything, the meal service of everything.
right.
Jed's the one that has to pay extra out of pocket to get them to stay on the East Coast this
Right.
entire week. He has to pay for the entire team, training staff, coaches, everybody, players, every single person that went on the trip. He has to pay for him to stay over there.
Yeah, I don't think
meals, every single thing.
I think Jed might have been a cheapskate in the past, but I don't think he's like that now.
He was. He definitely was.
I think he's getting better.
He's getting better, I think, because of the culture turned around. You know what I mean? You have to pay. That DeBartolo rewarded the players with the best of everything as long as they won. That was the deal. They could fly first class. They could have the best of everything, but they needed to win. Those were the terms.
Yeah.
You win and you will receive.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it should be, right? Like,
100%. That's exactly how it should be. You know, Eddie D was amazing. You know, I still see. I mean, I live in a town. I'm here in Ohio, but the Bartlow's main building is 10 minutes from my home. There's a massive Niner logo on this building. It's sweet. You know, it's like that's why I became a Niner fan, because there were such close ties to my hometown from the 49ers in a city full of Browns fans, nonetheless,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's cool.
It is crazy. It's crazy as hell. But, you know, at the end of the day, you guys, I think now we just need to figure out who got hurt, how bad they hurt. Like Charvarius Ward's injury, how bad is it? You know, how much will he miss?
Yeah,
Didn't they various word it's a groin too, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was. Yeah, but you know they grade those groin injuries. Like a grade 2 is what Kittle had. So you look at what a grade 2 groin injury did to Kittle. Right, he was out 4 weeks. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know you're right, John. I was just saying, I think it's a
Those
groin, is what you said it was.
Those are groin injuries are just, they torment you. They are so finicky. Like it's just, you know, you could be just right. You could be 90%, and then it could fuck you. And that's my fear for Nick.
Yeah.
For Nick,
No,
you know,
I agree.
that's my fear.
Percent.
Only because the way Nick plays. Nick gets so low, and the way he swings his body around, like, you know, it's incredible that he hasn't sustained these, you know, but I remember him doing this as a Buckeye, and his bounce back time was just not normal. You know, he was also a lot younger.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. It's just insane. It's nuts, man. I mean, hopefully we bounce back, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared to death of Kansas City, because I'm just like, holy shit. I mean, we're going up against a high powered offense, like high powered. Like we're not playing someone like, oh hey, hopefully, we can stomp them into the ground. Like, and Kansas City's D is playing really well right now too. Their defense is playing really well too. So it's not just their offense, their defense is playing really well too. So they are.
You know what though? If Mahomes goes down, that team fails miserably.
So basically,
he's yet to go down though. So
you know what? How about we need someone that's close to Kansas City to kidnap Mahomes for the game.
There's only one person I could think of that could do that.
I don't know anyone, so I was like, who lives near Kansas City? Can you please kidnap Mahomes for a day? That'd be great.
I just think that Mahomes just makes things like, if Mariota gave us a hard time today.
No, that's
and they put out good tape today on us, right? They put up good tape on us on a debilitated defense. So I'm hoping that tape doesn't really hold much water, right? But they did show us we've struggled with mobile quarterbacks. We've always struggled with mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We're just not built to chase them down. We're just built to contain a mobile threat. You know, we're not built to chase you down. Unless Ibukam is good at that though. I think he is the one thing we were missing.
He was hurt too. He went in and out of the game multiple times.
Yeah. He would get hurt, go out, they would do something, he'd come back in, play for a few, get hurt, go back out, do something, come back in. Like, damn.
That's why Kerry Hyder. I'm wondering, like, what the fuck are we getting out of Kerry Hyder? What do we benefit?
I haven't even heard his name. I feel like the entire season.
Yeah, he hasn't been. Hasn't been playing.
Rather go in on Brian Burns. I would rather go in on Brian Burns. Forget the CMC shit. Go in on Brian Burns, and you know, if Armstead's going to be collateral damage, then so be it.
Yeah, I said the same thing when people were like CMC. I'm like, I would rather have Brian Burns right now than CMC.
Don't get me wrong, guys. CMC offers the speed on those outside zone runs that we've been lacking since we lost Mostert. Don't get me wrong, like CMC could be an asset, right? But I mean, at what cost? I know that his injury history would probably make the restructure a little bit more feasible. But Brian Burns is young and would be an enormous asset to the other side of the line. You know, it just that would be wonderful. But I think CMC does offer us what we haven't had.
No. I like him. What happened, John? John was there, and now he's gone.
He's like, I'm out of here.
He's like, I'm gone. Yeah, I agree with him. I like CMC, and I think he would be a great addition. I like CMC, and I think he'd be a great addition. But right now, I think we need Brian. I think we need Burns more than we need CMC. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Are you there, John?
You don't know what he's doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. I wanted to say hi to the chat, and I just figured out how to use it on my phone. I think I saw Kerry Hyder today a little bit, but I'm not really seeing like the Kerry Hyder that I think we thought we were getting.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I think we got the same Kerry Hyder that we got in Seattle, or they got in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Not really making an impact.
You know, is not playing like he played, you know, when he was with us before. Like not at all.
We saw the ghost of Kerry Hyder pass on the field today. Like, and we haven't seen him all season. That's my whole point. Might have seen a little of him today, but he didn't do much, and haven't seen him the rest of the season. So
yeah, I'm like, what the hell, man?
I just don't know, like, what were we offering for CMC? Like, what are they offering? What gets it done? A few third-round picks?
Well, they announced today they're not doing nothing for more than a couple first start talks.
Yeah.
What?
So we sure in the hell ain't getting him. We don't even have first-round picks.
I mean, in 2024 we have a first, but I would package that up for Brian Burns.
Yeah, I ain't sending that for some beat up freaking running
There's
back
no
with
way
a
in
massive
hell.
ass fucking contract.
No way, man. That is absolutely insane.
Oh, they're dreaming. They are dreaming.
Yep.
But you know what, dude? You know what though? Someone will pay for it. Someone will do it. There's a sucker for everyone. Right? They'll get someone.
Well, it better not be us.
And if not, CMC will just stay there and rot away. So
no, somehow he'll be a Ram or a Seahawk somehow, some capacity.
Well, the Rams sure don't have anything to trade for him.
I know. They'll give. I don't know what they give. I don't even know how they do it. They don't have picks for like the next decade.
So have to trade Stafford over there.
I just think that CMC would give us that speed that we need to execute the run game. There's no doubt about that. That's what's missing here.
Yeah.
You know, even Elijah Mitchell, guy's a stud. I love him to death. But we still don't have the speed that we need to get on those outside zone runs. So that was everything that made our offense so explosive. Those runs opened up the passing game and made us dangerous.
Yeah,
now we're trying to we're driving Jeffrey Wilson up the middle into a stacked box and expecting him to come out, you know,
yeah,
with 15, 20 yard gain. It's just unreasonable. We're just beating him up to get 4 yards.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like
we used to break off chunk plays with Mostert. We used to get 20, 30 yard runs.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was just insane. And the
at any time,
more.
Mostert could break off for a freaking touchdown.
Right,
you know, like we don't have that.
Right, we just don't have that. I mean, we even did it with Breida in a sense, right? His speed was wonderful. So I mean, speed works. They're never going to invest multiple firsts in CMC. They don't even have anything that you know, by the time we could give you first, your team were already complete their rebuild by then.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we had enough overreactions today.
That felt good.
Yeah, got it out of our system. We love y'all. It's nothing but love. You guys know that.
All love. Never take it personal.
Yeah, it's all love. Nothing but, you know, yeah.
Brian, you're my guy. You know that.
Brian, he's still here, then he didn't take it personal. All these guys.
I'll hunt
I
his ass
respect you
down
guys.
if he leaves. I'll find him anyway and kick his ass.
Yeah.
You ain't getting away from me, buddy.
And you know I could kick ass because I was showing you all my aerobic moves.
Yeah. All right, guys.
You were definitely doing aerobics, whether anybody wants to admit it.
Whatever, dog, whatever. Well, obviously, the only aerobic moves I have, according to Miriah, is the kind that her mother shows her. So great.
Shout out to you guys for coming on, doing the show with me. Shout out to TL out camping with his kids. Hope he makes it back home safely.
Yes, sir. Father of the year. You take care of yourself, TL.
Yep.
Don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the bears, TL. Don't feed the bears.
Yes. I hope you got everything. I hope you put everything in plastic, TL.
I always forget in these reaction shows to have you guys plug your shows and stuff. So why don't you guys go ahead and do that?
Go ahead, Denise. Do you want to welcome everyone to your new exercise routine? You can find Denise
Very funny, John. Very funny.
It's called Jumping Disco with Denise.
Yes, you can come watch me on Jumping Disco with Denise Granger. No, I'm just kidding. No. Actually, I am starting to row, so row your boat. Yeah.
Oh shit, Denise. Okay, guys, so you can catch me at the Locker Room Ranch with two of my best friends, Nick and Tony. We discussed the entire league and baseball, and we talked some basketball. We talk sports and a little bit of life in between.
It's a lot of fun over there.
Fun of Nick. We do make fun of Nick a lot because Nick has it coming. But the Locker Room Rant family, join us on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. I appreciate you guys. Denise, always a pleasure. Miriah,
pleasure,
love you, family. John. Always a pleasure. Love you both very much. You take care of yourselves and be safe. We'll get through this week.
And actually, John V's co-host Tony, he's the one that won the week 6 score prediction. So he cleaned up this week. He won a prize in the fantasy football league, the 49 Faithfullee fantasy football league. Tony won a prize there. He won a giveaway this week on this week's show. And then now he won the score prediction for this week as well.
Wow.
Right.
And he's not even a 49ers fan.
For those of you that don't know, Tony is probably one of the luckiest people that we know. Growing up, Tony has always been extremely lucky. I mean, he almost won $5,000 the other day, but Nick's Browns blew it. All the Browns had to do was win last week, and Tony won $5,000, and
wow.
He lost. He lost because the Browns lost, but Tony is a very lucky person. He wins giveaways. He wins.
That's awesome.
Raffles. The guy is just lucky, and I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he does it. He's got a connection somewhere, but Tony is very lucky, family.
Hey,
That's
Rodney,
awesome.
Next week on the Instant Reaction Show, just come into the chat and let me know, and I can send you the link. I don't remember if you're on Twitter or not. If so, then DM me, and I can DM you the link as well on next week's Instant Reaction Show if you want to come on. But yeah, anytime you want to come on, then just let me know in the chat, and I can email you the link or whatever it is. All right. I appreciate everybody. Denise, are you going to tell him?
My guy, I talk to him all the time. He is on Twitter.
Okay. Oh, yeah, he is. I remember now. All right, everybody. We love you. Much love. Everybody stay safe.
Much love, everybody. Guys,
peace
out.